Welcome back, everybody, to some more Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We're continuing on with our Confederate 1862 campaign. I do have a new patron unit to add, and comes from Scotty King, and it's in honor of a friend of his that passed away, so we're glad to do this. We're going to name this unit Doubles Buckeyes. They're going to come from North Carolina. They're going to be in Jackson's Corps, I think Pemberton's division of Jackson's Corps in the Army of Northern Virginia. And he asked for them to have the butternut tops with kind of a slouch hat. This is the best one I could come up with as far as the hats go. And actually, there's a way to do this and keep the apostrophe you can't type in, so you have to leave it there. And I'm always glad to add a unit named Buckeyes, being a Buckeye myself. So there's Doubles Buckeyes. They're going to be over here. In Pemberton's division, right there in Jackson's Corps. I do want to look at their commander that they were given, though. I want to see if maybe we can get a better commander than Courtney. We've got a lot of available officers here that we could choose from. Isaac Trimble would actually be a really good choice. Where's he over here? Nah, maybe not. Charles Field's not bad. Jubal Early, not so great. It's actually just... Simon Buckner has no command right now. We should probably give him at least a division. That's decent stats he's got. We'll assign Field to brigade command here. He's a decent brigade commander. Let me look at my division commanders, because I believe that Buckner's got to be better than who I've currently got. These guys are all decent. Thornton, not so much. That's a artillery brigade, so I don't know. Or artillery division. If I don't have any other infantry... Toombs isn't great. Yeah, let's maybe replace Toombs. Who did we say we were going to replace? Mahoney's decent, too. I forget who it was now. There's Lawton. Yeah, or Wharton. Wharton's good. Let's put him in there. I didn't mean to go down to Colonel, but that works. Oh, we're having a little glitch here. I'm going to have to fix that. Simon Buckner's who we were looking for, so let's go ahead and put him in there. All right, so he's going to take command of the division under Magruder that has Toombs' brigade, Jones' brigade, and Cobb's brigade. All right, so let's take a look at the situation as it exists now. It is late June 1862. We are in the process of making a move into Pennsylvania, which starting in 1862, there was at least one Confederate incursion into Maryland and Pennsylvania in 62, 63, and 64. So it's Jackson's Corps that currently is moving up that way. The 27th Army is there with only 8,000 men, so I don't imagine they're going to want to do too much. We're going to have some more fights in Virginia following up on that massive battle we had in the last episode. So let's see what happens. Wanted to let you know a couple of things while I'm thinking about it. Number one, if you haven't already heard, and I'm pretty excited about this, I have heard from the developers, and they've reached out to me and asked me about my interest in making the official tutorial videos, in-game tutorial videos, and I told them very much so yes, I'm excited about that possibility. So I haven't heard more about what that means or what that's going to look like, but I will be in close contact with them, and I'm very honored that they have asked me to be a part of that. Glad to do my part to help make this game the success that I know it's going to be. Moral Land Grant Act signed, so that's going to help the Union war effort. I don't think there's a way for us to look at the Union decision, so I don't know exactly what that does for them in terms of the war. The other thing I want to mention is, let's see who's withdrawing. So he's pulling back the 27th Army in Pennsylvania. He's going to have to send something from the Army of the Potomac to deal with that. The other thing is, moving forward, they're going to be doing the patches a little differently, and this is all over on their discussion boards over on Steam. Rather than announcing, hey, 1 week from now there's going to be a new patch, and here are the things that are going to be in the patch, they're actually releasing development builds of the game and allowing people to kind of play with those development builds before they release it as an official patch. I haven't done that yet because I'm in the middle of this campaign. I don't want to mess things up, but it looks like all of the stuff they're currently working on, now that we have a relatively stable game, they're working on a lot of major updates to the economic system. Some of you have been asking me to do a tutorial on the economy and how it all works. Honestly, I'm not ready to do that yet because the game has a lot of work to do in that area. So what it's going to look like 3 or 4 weeks from now in terms of the economy and the supply system and all of that is very different than how it's going to look today. So we're going to wait on that until they make some of those changes. All right, so we're moving Anderson's First Corps over to get a little closer to the rest of the Army of Mississippi. It looks like the Army of the Southwest is moving to pursue. He's only got 8,000 men, so I think he's going to probably want to try and combine his other units. There's the Army of the Mississippi and the Union. That's 19,000, 20,000 men. This might be a good opportunity here for us to go after him with, which corps is this that we have here? It's a little too close to see. So Breckinridge, that's only 13,000 men. We would be outnumbered there. So we might have to move the Second Corps to get in range. So let's go ahead and move the Second Corps over because their combined forces would actually handle the Army of the Mississippi pretty well. I want to zoom out and see what's going on. The Army of the Ohio is somewhere up in Illinois because we've got our Army of the West right here under Samuel Cooper with 21,000 men. He has more men than me. It's just that he hasn't really brought that force to bear in sufficient numbers to be able to use that advantage. Okay, so he moved his Army of the Mississippi up to engage me at Louisville. I do have my Second Corps on the way, but they're not in range yet. They actually haven't even received their orders to move, so I'm not entirely sure that they're in range to reinforce. So we may be outnumbered here. Okay, I actually have no men on the field because right now it's just my headquarters that he hit, and we're 39 hours away from the Second Corps arriving. So this is going to be basically a wait to see if we can get any troops in the field in time to actually engage them here at Perryville. All right, well, I expect my army to arrive. It's day 3, the morning of day 3, and they should be arriving any minute now. The question is, where do they arrive and how quickly am I going to engage the enemy? Because you see this star is blue right here, which tells me the enemy has at least been there. Whether or not they're still there, I don't know. But if I show up on the map right here, I may be engaging the enemy even before I'm able to get my army into position or in any kind of battle line. But I think we're at ETA 0. Yeah, so I'm not sure why my Second Corps hasn't arrived yet. Here they come. Okay. So this is where it's going to get interesting because we may arrive on the field and immediately make contact with the enemy. I'm just waiting for all these guys to get on the battlefield. All right, we're slowly getting to position. I'm going to send Ringo's riders out far to my left to see if we can get an idea of what might be going on out there. And then we're going to go ahead and start sending our infantry divisions forward. I've got skirmishers out. I want to see if he's still in this area, or he may have long since moved away from there. Let's send Clanton with his brigade out to my right side. Although if he is there, no, it doesn't look like he's there anymore. All right, so we may be looking at an enemy army that could be anywhere on the battlefield at this point. So we're going to have to advance slowly. I'll try to keep the core of my army together in one place while we send out the cavalry just to try and figure out where he is. All right, I think I finally found them, and they're all the way over here on the edge of the map. I've got cavalry heading down that way, but they do have orders to evade if they run into a combat situation. So there he is. He's built his battle line right there, which is great until I move. And a couple of commanders have been caught down here in the river valley. That's kind of a glitch that happens occasionally. It happened to his corps commander, or actually it's his army commander, along with the division commander. And it's happened to a couple of my commanders as well. So nothing I can do about that, but that'll probably solve itself when we get into the next day's battle. So Dockery's going to hopefully briefly engage, and then we'll give him orders to fall back. This is Ringo's riders. And he's got those repeating rifles. He can get off 10 rounds a minute, so I think we're going to go ahead and give him orders to fall back. You can see the Union is kind of hedging their bets on everything right there, which is why we're going to move down here to engage him. No, not with them. Let's get Ruggles' division, and we'll put him down here. And I don't think I can give orders to Withers' division right now because Withers is caught, so we're going to have to... Well, we can still give orders to the division. It's just Withers himself is not going to go anywhere. And then Walker's our artillery, so let's get him over there as well. And as long as Ringo's riders are doing okay... Oh, now we've got to own initiative with him. Oh, great. Alright, let's go ahead and assign a perk to these guys. I like Vanguard because that's primarily how we use our cavalry on this game, is to be kind of out on their own. So we'll let them keep fighting because we're going to hit nighttime pretty soon, and then the day 4 is going to be the day that we actually engage in battle. Alright, Ringo's riders haven't taken a single loss. They're still firing. I think it's their range is just better than the enemy's. The enemy can't fight back, and he doesn't want to move out of his position. But we're down to just 8 rounds of ammunition, but there's the end of the day, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It allows us to get resupplied. But we only got a few rounds of ammunition to Ringo's riders, which means they're only up to 22. So we're definitely going to have to pull them back, which makes sense to do anyway in this situation. In fact, let's go ahead and put Dance's division back together. We'll get all our cavalry together there. All right, let's see if we can get our commanders out of this hole they're in. We can. Excellent. I don't know if the Union will do that too or not. Let's go ahead and move our army commander. Can we do that manually? All right, the only way we're going to be able to get our whole army commander out of here is to issue command to the whole army, which is fine. We'll do that first, and then I'll get everything organized, and then we're going to launch our attack on his flank. Okay, let's do it. He's already noticed me, so he's already starting to move. But we're going to go ahead and start advancing. I want to see the ground a little better. They're on high ground in the woods, so this is going to be tricky. But let's start advancing. We're going to go ahead and bring our cavalry down. I want to keep him at least a little bit occupied on that side. And we'll move Ruggles' division up on this side of the water. We don't have a lot of infantry. You can see he outnumbers me about 20,000 to 15,000. He does have cavalry, but I haven't seen them. They must be in here somewhere. All right, we got to get this artillery somewhere where it can be of use, and I don't know that it will be of use anywhere because of the nature of this terrain that I'm attacking on. But we're going to try. All right, let's go ahead and put this on full speed, at least for now. There's his cavalry right there. All right, he's turning his whole force. He's actually getting himself into position there. But then he saw me coming with my cavalry. And I think that has altered his plans somewhat. Man, if he comes at me with everything, though, that would be a problem. So we've got to hurry our infantry into position before he just turns on my cavalry and rips them apart. The nice thing would be if we could get my artillery into a place where they can fire out here on open ground. All right, there's Withers. So let's get this artillery up here if we can. Oh, not Withers. No, 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 no. Withers is infantry. Let's keep him with his initial orders. I need Walker. Oh yeah, that's right. We're low on info, or on ammo already. With Ringo's Riders, they just have 22 rounds. Clanton's not any better. They've only got 15. Oh, that's a major problem. He's putting his whole infantry force at my low ammo cavalry. Alright, let's get Ruggles up here. So we've got Gladden's brigade, Claiborne's brigade, Chalmers' brigade. Over here we have Gibson, Anderson. That's cavalry, or skirmishers. Alright, we're down to just 11 rounds now. We're way too close because you can see the range that I've got. We don't want to be at this distance. So let's fall back as best we can while we get our infantry into position. Alright, let's push this division up. Push Ruggles up. No, not Anderson. By himself. We need to get our artillery up a lot closer than they are. He pushed his whole army across to take on this cavalry. That's bad. But we've kept them occupied. Let's see how many casualties those cavalrymen have caused so far. Pretty good. I mean, the wounded you got to disregard because they brought that wounded with them. We got to keep pushing up. I want to get the artillery right up here on this hill, if I can. Is that the top of the hill? Not quite. You're a little higher, up to here. Yeah, we know they're low on ammo. I don't know why they're standing on top of each other either, but they are. Yeah, Ringo's Riders over. Okay, now it sounds like our skirmishers are starting to engage. Oh, yeah. Turn and face the right way there, guys. Alright, here's what I want to do here. I'm actually going to give orders to Withers' division to bring those skirmishers in. Same with these guys. I need to get... Oh, they haven't lost any men yet. Go ahead and bring Ruggles skirmishers in too. Okay, that artillery battery's firing. Those are 12-pound Napoleons. Is he pushing forward with his skirmishers now? It looks like he is. we're gonna have to get this artillery over here, so they've got clear line of sight. I don't know if these guys. Yep, they're firing. Bring your skirmishers in. Not entirely sure what's happening here. Good favoring over here. These guys have mixed muskets, which means their range is absolutely awful. I guess I never upgraded the guns in this corps, because this is also the corps that I don't, other than Ringo's Riders, I don't have any patron units in this corps, which means none of them are newer units. They're all units that already existed, and they almost all have those mixed muskets, except for Gibson's brigade, which has the Mississippi rifles, which you can see have this incredible range. I don't see any artillery for him. Gladden, why are you facing that way? I don't think all of these guns are firing. It looks like maybe just the one is. I need to find a good spot for this. The 3-inch rifles actually should be in the back, and I should move the 12 pounders up. So let's do that. Let's get these Napoleons right up on the front lines, as close as we can. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. Low as they may be on ammunition, we're going to go ahead and move the cavalry up a little bit. I just want to continue to have that bit of a distraction for him. The nice thing is, by him pushing forward to engage the cavalry, he gave up what was otherwise a pretty strong position to me. I'm just concerned about my poor weaponry being the difference in this battle. I want to see what the situation looks like. Yeah, see, pretty even on the number of killed, with me having a disadvantage of 5,000 men in this battlefield. That doesn't bode well. Who was just wounded? Gladden was wounded. Yeah, we just don't have the weaponry to compete with these guys in this battle, I don't think. But we'll see what happens. Alright, we have our 3-inch ordnance rifles firing. Actually, don't quite. Oh no, I'm looking at a different circle. That's my Army commander circle. They have the range. There is some artillery right here. 4 guns. Give 12-pound Napoleons a clear line of sight to be able to fire. boys. Get them moving. Those are our Mississippi rifles. They are the ones that have a nice range. I could actually just move Anderson's brigade over. We'll let the Mississippi rifles have this spot here. They've got the range to be able to hit people from there. We're still not firing all the Napoleons because we're not in a good spot. They just received their orders, so let's see if they move up now. These guys moved up a little more. There we go. Alright. Move the Mississippi rifles up. I know that's not what they're called, that's just the weapons they have. But there are crack unit as far as shooting goes, plus they have sharpshooter 1. So they're going to be leveling that skill up and firing at long range. Alright, who's low on ammo now? That's just still our cavalry. We already knew they were low. Get these 12-pounders firing hot. There we go. Now they're all firing. These guys moved up just a hair more because they're just out of range. Most of his army's out of range, actually. Just fighting on my right. What's going on over here? Gladden fell back. Fragmented. They lost their commander. They've lost about 20% of their men. Is he going to come at my guys with the Mississippi rifles now? Just not been a good situation from the start for me. It's just too many men with much better weapons than I have. I may have been better off to disengage from the start. You can start to see I'm starting to take more casualties than him. I just don't think I can withstand this for long. We're down to just 13,000 men. It may be the wisest course of action to start thinking about disengaging. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, too. Okay, I withdrew. You can see the casualties. His were not that high. He brought a lot of wounded into the fight, I think. So I lost 4,000 men. That's a fourth of my corps. It was not a good situation for me in Louisville. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you have your men spread out the way that I do. I have that corps, so the 3 corps of that army so spread out. I just didn't have the manpower to be able to compete against him properly there. And we've got to get those weapons upgraded for sure. Okay, so here's something that's a bit confusing about this for me. It was our 2nd Corps who fought there. Our 3rd Corps did not, but the 3rd Corps is right here with the Army of Mississippi, which is who was engaged in that fight. So I'm not entirely sure why our 3rd Corps wasn't actually engaged in that fight, even though they were right there. That's really kind of strange to me. So let's go ahead and move our 3rd Corps, because our 3rd Corps with 13,000 men, and then of course our 2nd Corps, which was fighting there with 11,000 men, combined we should have had the men to take them on. But I want to go ahead and look at Johnston's Corps now, because we need to make some upgrades. We might even need to do some combining. Somehow Gibson lost all of his men. Those are the guys with the Mississippi rifles. He's down to 14 men, and I don't know why. But it looks like a majority of his brigade must have been captured there. Man, I don't know what happened there. Let's start getting some Enfields. We're going to switch Claiborne's brigade over to Ruggles' division, so he has 2 brigades still. Man, Johnston's corps is down to just 11,000 men. That's a problem. We might have to transfer some additional brigades to him. Honestly, the Army of Mississippi as a whole doesn't have as many men as I would like. Anderson's corps, probably the strongest of the bunch. But let's get some of these mixed muskets upgraded so the next time we go into a fight, we don't have the same problem. I'm going to get some more Mississippi rifles if I can. 660,000. They have a 500-yard range. They only fire 2.5 rounds a minute, but man, at that range, it's worth it to lose the rate of fire. Let's get Claiborne upgraded as well. I think we're good on the cavalry. We are. So we've only got 4 infantry brigades now in Johnston's corps. That's definitely less than ideal. Let's see if there's any room for new units. See, we only have West Virginia is the only place we can recruit from right now. So let's go ahead and recruit an infantry brigade from West Virginia. They're going to take 42 days to get there, though. Oh, man, that's starting to be a problem for me. I may have to transfer units from other armies. Well, because the Union forces in south central Pennsylvania, the 27th Army has fallen back. That pretty much leaves the road open for Jackson to march on Harrisburg. Now, I have to believe that at some point the Union's going to start shifting some of the corps of the Army of the Potomac or even parts of the Army of Tennessee up to intercept. In fact, we can see some movement here by the 5th Corps, which is 18,000 strong, but Jackson's got way more men. Well, he's only got 23,000 at this point. So the 5th Corps, along with other units, might be enough to take Jackson on. Longstreet's corps isn't too far behind, but I don't want to pull them out of Virginia in case the Confederates decide to come this way at me. All right, so here we go again. We're going to make further contact with this army that we just fought. I don't know what's going to happen this time. Okay, it's going to once again be a bad numerical situation for us with about 17,000 Union troops versus our 13,500 Confederate troops under Breckinridge. I don't know if there's any chance of reinforcements coming. Let's take a look and see. There are not. So this is all we're going to have. Let's double check and see if the Union's going to have any reinforcements. It doesn't appear he will either. So this is going to be it. And we're back on the Perryville battlefield. This is the Battle of Louisville Harbor. All right, let's review what we've got this time. We've got Nathan Bedford Forrest, Lone Cavalry Brigade. We've got some artillery here, 3-inch ordnance rifles, 12-pound Napoleons, some more 12-pound Napoleons. Then we've got Bowen's Brigade, Lone Star Brigade, Wheat's Tigers, the Rock City Guards, French Zouaves, and the 1st Montero Rifles. So I think the idea here will be to try and take as many of these objective points as we can, as the Union's got a long way to go to get to them. And then I think we could probably oppose his crossing at these couple of key points, although I don't think we can cover all of the points. So I'll cover these 2 points, and then I'll probably put the last of my force right up in here somewhere. That way, if he comes this way, great. If he comes this way, we'll be ready for it. All right, we spotted him, and he is indeed crossing part of his army right here, and it looks like the rest of them coming around this way. So I've got Forrest up there kind of screening and seeing what he's up to. Let's go ahead and pull Forrest back now. And I'm still trying to get my troops into position. I'm going to put Walthal's brigade up here behind this fence on high ground. It looks like a really solid defensive position. We've got some artillery to help cover that. I've got these brigades trying my best to cover the double bridge crossing that's there in town. I've got Bowen right here. I've got the Lone Star Brigade right here covering that crossing. I don't know why my artillery's still back here. Let's get them moved up. And now we're just going to wait and see what he does. All right, they're coming down this road. I'm going to move the French Zouaves over here. Put them behind this fence. I'm going to keep Breckenridge's brigade, that's Montero Rifles, up there just to cover my right flank. I'm going to bring Forrest down here. We'll get him dismounted and behind this fence. I think that's a fence there. Artillery's already opening up on him. These units here are actually inside the buildings. I'm not entirely sure that's what I want them to do, but we'll see what happens. We've got Enfield rifle muskets there. That's what Rock City Guards has as well. Let's give them both long range. All right, and then we'll watch and see what he does. Let's speed things up a little bit. If we can win this battle and drive these guys out of Kentucky, I think we'll have enough to get Kentucky to secede. I thought we had everything we needed to do for Kentucky to secede earlier, and Kentucky had, in fact, seceded, but I don't know what happened. It's not showing as Confederate on the map, and I don't know if that's because his troops never fully exited the state or what. But we'll have to make that happen. All right, so Forrest is behind this fence now. Excuse me. So if he does try to effect a crossing here, he's going to have some additional issues because he's going to have me firing on him into his flank from here. And it looks like he's sending some units up this way. I don't know what that's about, but we're going to find out. Lawrence is supposed to be moving over this way. He's still forming up, it looks like. Let's get the French Zouaves to move a little faster. Tell them double time. Who's this here? This is a small brigade, it looks like. They're going to get themselves caught down in the... Oh, they're crossing the... yeah, see, they've only got 766 men. And they're going to cross that ford right there. And unfortunately, my men, the French Zouaves that are supposed to be here to cover that side, aren't there yet. I didn't get them moved fast enough. I'm not entirely sure what they're taking so long for. They don't appear to be moving, though. And now he's got cavalry coming down from this side, so now I've probably got to keep them where they are. So we've got to countermand that order. Morgan broke up. He got fired on by these 8 3-inch ordnance rifles, plus the infantry that's in these buildings. They just lit him up. Alright, this is going to be interesting. If he comes down and hits Forrest's flank, that could be a problem. Wondering whether I shouldn't bring Rhett up to cover this spot here. Double time. He's got his division commander right there, so that was a pretty much instantaneous obedience to that order. So basically we've got men in all the buildings here. If he gets artillery firing on them, that could be an issue. This is going to be an interesting fight. These units are significantly better equipped than the last men that I fought these guys with. Alright, we're at long range. I'm going to have to shift Forrest over into the apex of this fence. And then he can start firing on this battery. Of course, the battery's firing on him, so that's an issue. Lone Star Brigade's got a good spot there, as long as he doesn't get hit on his flank. And I remember seeing the Union sending some men up this road. It's possible they could be coming around, but they're not there yet. So, come on, Rhett, get behind the fence, dude. Get behind the fence. Forrest is coming up to get behind the fence here. It's going to put him in really close contact here. I don't know that these guys are in range. Oh yeah, they could be. Got Enfields on both of them. These guns firing? No, they're not. I need to move them back. Get them a line of sight. I need those 12-pounders firing on this cavalry. Here it comes. Oh my. Now let's slow down to real time. He's sending the bulk of his force over against these guys over here. That's not good. Especially since we're not behind the fence like we should be. Get behind the fence. Okay, Red hasn't lost a man yet, so that's the good news. Forrest is losing a lot. He's coming right in for melee combat. In which case, I might be better off mounting up. We're going to do that. I'll see your melee and pull out some cold steel for you. But if they're driving me back, I've got a real problem because I've got this brigade kind of hung out to dry. Man, this army, this Union Army's tough. Of course, I was probably not well advised to split my force like this when I'm already outnumbered. I wasn't expecting him to handle it correctly. We're going to need iron discipline for the Lone Star Brigade. They've got good melee, so that's good news. Man, he got several brigades across already. How are we doing here? Montero rifles are doing good. French Zouaves are not currently engaged, so we're going to actually bring them over. I'm a little concerned about this battery here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring Little up here. How are we doing, boys? Can't even see my men. There we go. Lone Star Brigade, 119, 125 losses. They're poor in melee now. Now we need your help here, Forrest. Charge into him. If nothing else, it's going to relieve the pressure a little bit. Oh, they didn't even make it. What's going on here? Latimer demoralized. Whose division is Latimer? That's the cavalry. That's why they stopped. Oh boy. Lone Star Brigade, I'm sorry guys. Taking on the whole army on your own. He drove off my battery over here. Oh man. The Yankees are fighting. They're fighting in Kentucky. They're fighting well. Was not expecting that. Alright, let's dismount Forrest. Lone Star Brigade's in real trouble. There's not a lot I can do about it right now either. He's lost 350 men. Can we get him to withdraw? Let's try and get him to fall back. Alright, Little broke Buford's men here, but they're pursuing over here. Man, this is a mess. My right flank is holding well. Why is Kentucky the only place I have trouble winning? It seems like most of the battles where the Union has gotten the best of me have come there. Oh no. No, 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 no. Lone Star Brigade of Colonel Rhett, after heavy fighting, has surrendered to the enemy with all his remaining... He didn't have 12,651 men. Let's bring casualties of my corps to 1,657 men. No, we lost the Lone Star Brigade. Don't worry, we'll get a new one. Oh, brutal. Alright, we gotta get Forrest back across. Alright, so we can't divide our army anymore. I've been doing that because I could get away with it, but it seems like the Yankees have decided that they know how to fight now. So we're going to have to start keeping our force together, especially when we're outnumbered. That's good, though. I'm glad that they're actually doing well. There's some hope for the AI. Right flank, all is well. Let's look at the overall numbers here. Obviously, we've got a real issue with strength now, although it's not too bad. It's about 14,000 to 11,000. The casualties overall, still pretty good. It's that missing number because I lost that whole brigade that's killing me. You can see here. They're actually kind of divided. That's interesting. So maybe they're not showing that brigade is missing. Oh, that was his army. That's why. There we go. Now you can see in Wright's division, 1,400 missing. That's the Lone Star Brigade. Oh, man. Bowen's brigade hasn't actually engaged, really. It's showing 677 losses, but no men killed. So I guess that's mostly wounded they brought in to the fight. Oh, what's Forrest doing? Get across, man. There's no men over here. Get yourself across. Now he's showing feud, which means he's going to do his own thing. Here's Kirby Smith here. Alright, Rock City Guards, take these guys out. We got 1,800 men. They've got 1,300. Come on, Forrest. Get yourself across over here. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. He's got a unit back here. Oh, no, no. Not little. No. I do want to send Forrest back there, though. Just to cover against whatever these guys are going to think about doing. But we need to drive these guys off. If they're not already, I want these batteries firing on this unit here. His cavalry's just still sitting there. Alright. Let's come over here and deal with these guys. Because I think the 1st Montero Rifles can handle this by themselves. Alright, Forrest is going to come up here. Oh, this has not gone well at all. Here he comes. He can't cross there, can he? Nope, but he's gonna come at me this way. Fire long range. Oh, they are gonna get across there. Look at that. Either that or they're gonna get stuck down there. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Let's come up here with Bell, Wheat's Tigers. I need Bowen's brigade to hold as best they can with those mixed muskets. We're about to deal effectively, I think, with this brigade here, who's now caught between two opposing forces firing on him. In real life, this would probably not be a good situation because you'd have the French Zouaves and the Rock City Guards actually firing into a unit, but also probably at least somewhat firing into each other. Alright, Bowen. Let's do your thing as best you can here. Thought wheat Steigers were coming up, but it looks like now I guess we're going to keep them right where they are because he's making a move toward the bridge now. No, just stay where you are. How Kirby Smith hasn't broken yet is beyond me. He's getting orders, though. We'll see what those orders make him do. Look at how many dead blue there are there. Alright. Hit him. We can probably capture these guys. Unless they're going to successfully break through my lines, which it looks like they may. Alright, let's bring Lawrence down. The battle's all going to pretty much happen right here, it looks like. Alright, Kirby Smith broke across. Now we can consolidate ourselves over here. Let's get Forrest. I don't know what in the world Grossbeck's doing. But we'll go after him. And now it's all going to come down to a fight around this crossing right in the town of Perryville. How's Bowen doing? He's doing okay. But that's a lot of men firing on him. And he's only got mixed muskets. My kids are home from school today, so they're being kind of loud upstairs. But that's life. Let's see. Alright, let's get a little over here. This one could probably go either way. Still. Let's see what the numbers look like. Okay, he's got about 13,000 men left. So casualties have been pretty one-sided, even with me losing that entire brigade. Ah, poor Lone Star Brigade. We'll get them replaced. Who's withdrawing? Ah, where's my... I can't see my thing. There we go. Oh, the enemy's retreating. Okay. So we've won. This should drive the Union out of Kentucky. In theory. Whew. That was a costly defeat, though. Or a costly victory. He's pulling everybody back, but he's still got men fighting in the field here. Alright, let's see how this one ends up. Okay, so here we go. He lost half his men. Now that counts the casualties he had already taken in the previous battle. But he leaves with 11,000. I leave with about 10,000. So, yeah, a costly victory, but that should be what drives him out of Kentucky once and for all, I hope. But we'll see. Okay, glorious victory at Louisville Harbor. And that basically leaves us, as we said, hopefully with all of Kentucky under our control. But far from finished. I mean, this thing has a long way to go. We just can't seem to move the bar on European intervention, no matter what we do. Where are the Union invasions? Army of the Gulf down in the south. Yeah, we got to deal with that. So here's the situation. Our national morale's at 98. Our national support's at 98. His national morale's at 66. It has to be below 25 to win the war. So we know we're nowhere close to that. He still got me by about 60,000 men. The casualties, of course, have been 2-to-1, but he's just got unlimited supply of manpower. It's just a matter of whether or not he uses it. Navy tonnage, you can see the massive advantage he has there. I'm not even going to try to keep up with him in terms of Navy tonnage. And I don't know why he's won 38 battles to my 29, because there hasn't been nearly that many. I think since we started in the 1862 campaign, there were already battles that were counted in that. But let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We will get a new Lone Star Brigade going, and then we'll come back in a couple of days with the next episode. Thanks for watching.